Today we're going to be hearing from Ted Morrow. He has over a 7-figure net worth, huge portfolio, and he's going to be speaking today on why real estate may not be the best move for 2025.
The laws that are being passed the last few years are not friendly to people who own real estate. Insurance companies are starting to make rules where if you don't have a new roof on your property in the last 10 years, they won't even insure you till you put a new roof on your property. And we had a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house in Florida that was an Airbnb. How much you guys think it cost to put a new roof on it?
$20,000, easy.
$23,000.
Yeah, I'm in construction, so I already know it was $20,000.
Right.
Yeah, on that.
Yeah.
And even where I live, to put a new roof on just an average house is $11,000 or $12,000, $13,000. And back in 15 years ago, I could put a new roof on for $2,000.
Wow.
And then not only do you have to have your house totally updated to get it insured, the cost of insurance is getting so high, and the taxes, the property taxes and the cost of insurance are getting so high that, Jack, you said you were paying that $1,800 rent. Well, the guy that owns that property is probably having a hard time just keeping their bills paid with the rent they do have coming in, because the property taxes and the insurance are just out of the roof, and it's ridiculous. So these days I like digital real estate much better, and there's some other ways that you can be in the real estate game without actually owning the real estate, and I kind of like some of that stuff too. And Pierre, is that your first name or last name?
That's my last name.
So how do you say your first name?
Evenson.
Evenson?
Yes.
Okay. So you just sold a house?
Yes.
Did you make a good profit on it?
A decent amount, but nothing substantial. No. It definitely would have been a lot more when there was that craze going on just half a year ago or a couple years ago.
How'd you come up with the money to buy the house?
So that one I used credit and I used FHA.
Nice.
Oh, cool. So you put like 2 or 3% down probably?
Yeah.
And then got it financed, and then you ended up selling it, making a little profit on it?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll tell you guys, besides Jack and me, you guys on here are all pretty young. And one of the things I really like to anchor with in your life is the infinite banking that I just fully believe in. And let me tell you, at the age you guys are at, you probably don't have thousands and thousands of dollars just to stick in an infinite banking program and be able to start cash flowing immediately. But I'll tell you what you guys can do is you could start out with $50 or $100 a month, and you can start building up your bank and have that basis to be able to shove money into when it comes your way. And even when Jack was talking about paying the rent, if a person could get organized enough and manage their cash flow right and set up an infinite banking program, which is really a whole life insurance policy that allows you to access the capital almost immediately, and you start loading your money into these policies, you learn compound interest on that money for the rest of your life. So any money that you spend that you're not running through these policies is money that's going to exit your life and you're never going to see it again. Any money that you learn how to put through these will be money that never leaves your life and will come back in multiples. Does everyone here know what infinite banking is?
I have a little bit of a background when it comes to that, because I did insurance for a little bit, and what's it called? I'm part of a group where it's a lot of entrepreneurs and real estate investors, and they introduced me to the idea of that, and I took the time to learn a little bit more about it, because there are definitely ways that it can help, especially when it comes to real estate, and it helps your money go further. That's basically what I know about it.
Recording this, press?
So the Fathom didn't record, but I just used my regular camera, and then I'm gonna use it into a transcript, and then that way we still have the transcript of the audio.
Oh, you couldn't record it just on the Zoom recording?
It couldn't let me. The storage was full, and the Fathom wasn't connecting, and I cared more about starting this. I didn't want it to be late.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but usually, every other call is only gonna be in Fathom.
Well, do you guys mind if I give you a 5-minute rundown?
Yeah.
And I just want to tell these
Absolutely.
guys about
Go ahead.
taking some, buying a car. So, let's say you go buy a car, and you know a lot of people in finances follow Dave Ramsey, and he tells everybody, you know, you have to pay cash for your car. Don't ever have a car payment. Don't pay interest on a car. And I agree with that. I don't like paying interest on a car. But in able to pay cash for a car, what do you have to do to have enough cash to pay for the car? You have to save up, or at least get
Yes,
a windfall somewhere.
save some money, or at least make enough to where you can go get it.
So you almost always have to be saving up for the car. So you're almost always going to have a car payment, whether you're paying interest on it or not. Now, let's say you save up and you want to buy a car for $30,000, and you just go buy that car for $30,000. 6 years after you buy it, how much is it going to be worth?
Probably like 22 grand.
You're more like 15, probably.
Yep.
Anyway, so now your $30,000 out of your pocket. You own the car. You don't have a car payment. But 6 years later, let's just use your number and say the car is worth 20 or 22,000. How much do you think it's worth 6 years after that?
We're for sure under that 15 mark.
Probably more like 8.
Yeah.
So your 30,000 is almost gone. Now you have a 12-year-old car that's about worn out. So what are you going to need to do shortly?
Get a new one.
Right. So if you haven't been saving up, how are you going to do it?
Recycle. Got to save again and do the same thing over again.
Car payment. Are we in agreement on that?
Absolutely.
Okay. So now let's use infinite banking. We save up our $36,000. We put it in our whole life policy. And be careful about what some of these guys online tell you is true infinite banking, because an indexed universal life policy is not true infinite banking. It's not the same. It doesn't work the same. And the agent makes 9 times as much commission. It needs to be the right kind of policy with a mutual insurance company. But you put your you need about 36,000 to borrow 30 in the first 30 days. So put your 36,000 in the policy, take a policy loan, borrow the 30,000. Now you pay cash for your car. You have a policy loan out at 5%, but they loan you the money against the death benefit. Your 36,000 that you put in compounds from day one. Now, does anyone know what the rule of 72 is?
Yeah, basically, if you plug in the numbers, it shows you how long it takes for your money to double.
72 divided by the interest rate tells you how long it takes your money to double. So in these policies that I work with, you can expect a 6% annual return. So every 12 years, your money's going to double.
Mm.
So we put our 36,000 in the policy. We bought the car 6 years later, when the car is maybe worth $22,000, like you said, right?
Right.
Your 36,000 is worth 54 because it grew by half. 12 years later, when the car is down to $8,000 or $9,000 and almost worn out, your 36 is now worth 72,000. So you've doubled your money without adding any money, just through the power of compound interest. Now, if you do your due diligence and keep making your car payment and saving up, right? During this time, you're going to be paying your policy back. So you're going to have that full $72,000 available to buy the other car and possibly do other things, because at that point, you're probably going to add to the policy annually if you set it up right, and it's going to become your own bank. And this is going to be a tool you can just run your life with. So, I think everybody on here is pretty serious about their lives. So do yourselves a favor and grab a book. It's called What Would the Rockefellers Do? And read that book. And it talks about how the Rockefellers run their whole family dynasty using family trusts and life insurance. And life insurance is the core of everything they do. And then there's another book, and I have a PDF copy that I can share. I could probably toss it in the chat if you guys want me to. Or I'll tell you, just reach out to me on the DM on school, and I'll send you the PDF. And it's a book called "Become Your Own Banker" by Nelson Nash. Or it might be called "Bank on Yourself." But I'll send you the PDF, and once you read that book, it'll change the way you think about money, and it'll change how you operate your life. And man, you guys at your age, even if you can only afford $50 or $100 a month, get it started. Because you're healthy, you never know when your health's going to go crappy. I just had a good friend that died yesterday from pancreatic cancer, and a year ago he had no idea he was even sick. So you just don't know how long you have, and you can only get these policies while you're healthy. And when you're young, healthy, and in shape, they're not very expensive. And literally 90% of your money's liquid in the first 30 days. So that's about, and then as far as digital real estate goes, I think the right kind of digital real estate is awesome. You have almost no overhead, and if you can have something that pays monthly recurring income, I think school communities are one of the neatest opportunities I've seen for digital real estate in the whole time I've been online. Years ago, I had a course that I did on billiards, how to play pool. And I did a free course and gave away the fundamentals. And then I sold a book on the back end called 8-Ball Winning Strategies. And I sold the book for $37 a piece. And every now and then I'd sell a few books here and there. And I got checks for ClickBank for years. And I still sell one now and then. And I haven't hardly touched that website since 2008. So that's an example, of digital real estate. It doesn't go away. And if I wasn't lazy and nurtured it a little bit, I could probably turn that into a nice little cash cow again.
That's amazing.
So that's about it for me. But I wanted to just chime in on a couple things there.
Okay, we'll dive in more next week. To leave a cliffhanger, I want to know, for a person who's young and they're just throwing $50 to $100 into infinite banking, what would it look like for them in around 10 to 50 years?
10 to 50?
Correct. Like, and what's a 10-year? What would it look like for them, and what would a 50-year look like?
In 10 years, you probably have $14,000 or $15,000.
Okay.
In 50 years, you'd probably have a few $100,000.
Just from
Just
stacking.
putting that much a month. Obviously, you're not going to. Hopefully, you become, you do something with your life where you can afford to put away more than $50 or $100 for your future.
Absolutely.
But I believe that these policies are better than an IRA. They're better than a 401k. They're better than anything that I've seen out there. They're better than the stock market as far as I'm concerned, because they take away the speculation. And if you have enough money to invest in the stock market, first put it in your insurance policy, then take the policy loan, and then put it in the stock market. And now you earn compound interest on it forever, and you still get the gains from the stock market.
Absolutely.
And I have some pretty ninja ways to make money in the stock market that pretty much eliminates the risk too.
So much game. Make sure you guys are here next week so you guys don't miss anything. Thank you, Ted.